Okay, we should be live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this is number 5 we're doing. So we've already talked about a wide range of topics. We've done fusion power. We've done future of military soldiers, infantry. We've done, and then we did a rather longer one on sort of steps to building the British Space Empire, which is glorious British Space Empire. So this week we are going to sort of veer off slightly into subjects that I guess neither of us really have any formal education in. I mean, maybe you more than me.
That might be a stretch.
Well, I mean,
I've got a little bit of robotics experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, your degree's more engineering than mine. I guess my my expertise is just pure interest, I guess. So this week we're going to be talking about cyborgs, cybernetics, sort of enhancing human beings like physically with technology. That's the plan.
Always.
All right, P-Man. Hello. So we're gonna increase the God Emperor. We're gonna make him better than he is already. He's never getting COVID again, and he's living forever.
In his little Superman shirt.
Oh my God! Did he? I haven't got the quote to hand, but
it was in one of our chats before.
Yeah, just a brief
already.
A brief side note, just to laugh while we wait for people to join.
When he left the hospital, he wanted to appear frail at first when people saw him, according to people with knowledge of the conversations. But underneath the button-down dress shirt, he would wear a Superman t-shirt, which he would reveal as a symbol of strength when he ripped open the top layer. He ultimately did not go ahead with the stunt. That would have been absolutely incredible.
It would.
that was
it
Trump
would.
that they were talking about from a New York Times article this morning.
We want Cybertrunk. I think that would be better. We've got a couple of people joining. We've got P-Man, we've got Mr. Spoon. Hello. We'll give it another sec. I've just tweeted out the link. I guess a good place to start, as we were just talking about before coming online, is kind of defining what we mean by cyborg and cybernetics.
Yeah.
I guess there's
which I hadn't thought about until you really mentioned it. I just thought, stick a bit of metal on people. There you go, cyborg.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is to basically find a definition that doesn't include basically everyone already.
Yeah.
I want to go on.
Because I think you've been mentioning things on Twitter like pacemakers and things along those lines.
Yeah. Like cochlear implants, like all sorts. Basically, I want to be sure that next time I bang a girl with a contraceptive implant, I haven't actually been fucking a cyborg.
When she makes me wear a strap on, I'm not. This greatly upsets me.
Is a strap on part of a cyborg? Does that count? If we're counting like a blind man's cane, for example, like that's a tool that is, So yeah, we want to basically come up with a definition that doesn't include people wearing glasses, say.
Unless they're really cool glasses.
Unless they are sick glasses, yeah. Well, I mean, if you start with the definition, what cyborg like definitionally means, where it comes from, it stands for cybernetic organism. So that leads to the question, what does cybernetic mean? And if we look at Wikipedia, that bastion of knowledge.
All good sources of knowledge come from
basically, it seems to be more to do with sort of systems engineering and feedback loops, rather than getting a person and grafting a metal plate to their face or giving them superpowers or whatever. There has to be a sort of feedback loop involved. So the example that I was thinking about was, say you have say you've got a robotic leg or arm or something, and I guess for the purpose of this, we're not really going to be distinguishing between people who have lost their arm or leg accidentally and those who have done it because they want the cool upgrade. Like the intent doesn't really matter here. Yeah, by the end of this, Sam's going to start amputating limbs.
Yeah, I'll be legless and armless by the end of it, just in preparation.
He's just a nugget sat in his chair with his headphones on.
Destined to be on this podcast forever because I can't turn it off.
I guess well, I mean, even if you start doing amputations for getting different limbs, that sort of thing, robotic limbs, then there's specific ways that you have to do the amputation for it to be viable. Like you can't just do it to anyone.
No, you've got to keep some of the I think tendons and musculature.
Yeah, some of the nerve endings and stuff as well. Yeah. For now, but I guess the idea is that you need some sort of feedback loop, and you need I'll explain what I mean by that in a sec, but you need the robotic part to allow the organic parts, I guess, to be able to operate in a new environment. So it has to enhance it.
Yeah, they've got to be able to work dynamically.
So what I mean by the feedback loop is, say you have a robotic hand, you can pick up, if you can only use it to just like pick something up or manipulate objects, say, no matter how good you can do it, it doesn't count as you plus the hand doesn't count as a cyborg. Because you unless it can send signals back to you. So the signals from you to it and signals back from it to you. That's what makes it cybernetic.
If it spoke to you. I'm just thinking about the cane example. Like, if that was speaking back to the blind man, sort of explaining what he's seeing, would that count as cybernetics then?
Well, he's not controlling it, I guess, because he's just kind of.
If he's poking things with it or people. I'm just throwing this to folk you, to be honest, but I'm interested.
I guess this is something that I've kind of only thought about briefly. It seems to be the definition involved. So, but he's not like getting it to manipulate itself, I suppose, because if you have a robotic arm, say,
he's not making a thought, and he's still using his biological weak, puny.
Yeah. So the difference between it, so if you want to have an arm that's operated in the same sort of category of manner to the cane, you'd have to have a hand where you would use your other hand to move the fingers and lock it in place and that sort of thing.
You'd cut his hand off and shove it in his stump.
I guess that's a little bit like we could talk about. So I was kind of inspired by watching one of Count Dankula's videos the other day, where he was talking about is it Guts of the Iron Hand?
I've not watched the video. You've shown me a few pictures of it.
Yeah, let me just Google that guy because he's.
It's like the original Winter Soldier.
I can't remember how to fucking spell it. I think it's something like good. That's close enough. Poet as well. He apparently popularized the phrase "kiss my ass." That's
what?
But I'm not really interested in him and his life, even though he was a badass mercenary. It's more the hand itself, yeah, because this was like early 1500s, and this is the sort of thing that this is the basic version, I guess, is this sort of thing, and you can see if I open it, obviously there's no like interface with your brain or anything or your rest of your body. You'd have to lock stuff in place. Yeah. So what you can see, there's the individual fingers. There's like the thumb. Obviously, the thumb isn't fully exposable. Like it can only move in one direction or in one dimension, like that. Like so, I guess it can only touch the index finger. I guess because the definition of having exposable thumbs is that you can touch your thumb to the tips of all other fingers on your hand.
Yeah.
I bet everyone watching is doing that right now. So this is like the basic version that he had, I think. And then there was another version, which is like, so I guess if I open this one up, that's the basic one that I just showed you. And then this is the more advanced one. You can see there's individual joints on the fingers as well.
That looks like a rocket fist from like an anime.
It does, yeah. It looks like a power fist or something that you punch with.
Yeah, you just see that flying across the battlefield.
Yeah. But yeah, you can see because on this one, each finger is kind of a solid bit of metal, whereas this they've got joints on the fingers. It's quite interesting. Let's zoom in slightly. So presumably this means that obviously he can't move his wrist or anything, but he can hold a sword. He can hold the reins of his horse. that sort of thing, so he can actually still
I just want to
function,
punch things.
and he can just imagine bitch slapping somebody with this. Like you take the teeth out,
You take the jaw off.
yeah.
What about the teeth? Jesus.
So what I'm saying is that the only real modern development in this sort of thing is the direct interface.
Yeah.
Because obviously he'd have to use his other hand to move the joints and things. Obviously, locking it in place, he can hold his sword for the duration of a fight. He can hold the horse's reins for the duration of riding his horse. Yeah. But he can't. He'd have to like physically go with his other hand to move the fingers and unlock it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a cool guy on YouTube at the minute, which I've sort of been following a little bit. He's sort of making like a. I can't remember whether it's like purely mechanical, but a guy called Ian Davis is sort of making like he's lost all of his fingers on his left hand.
Oh, really?
So he's still got his thumb, but he's making like fingers, and it all works. I think it's all mechanical, or the vast majority of it is mechanical.
Well, as opposed to electronic, or as opposed to what?
So the interface between
I see.
and the device is purely mechanical. It's not perfect by any means, because I think he's just sort of doing it as a home project. But just in terms of like a pure mechanical device, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I thought I'd just throw that in there before we get on to all these.
Yeah, I'm sure this is the sort of thing that if you're a decent mechanical engineer, you can, hack it yourself or build stuff yourself. Like it's a bit of a strange thought being able to like build your own leg or build your own arm or whatever.
Yeah, I mean the only difference is, between this and the like proper mechatronic, I guess the term for it, prosthetics which are being developed now, is the control of them. I think one of the issues that he's having with this is there's no assistance in terms of like being able to have the same sort of strength that even a human would have, let alone where I want to go with it and be able to crush somebody's throat. Not that I would, just the ability to.
The cyber police.
Just something where you can like assert your dominance, just in a bar and just crush a chair between your hands.
Well, this is the thing. Like I was saying to you just now, like the Winter Soldier, I guess, is the quintessential idea that everyone has of someone with a robot arm. I guess popular culture. Like there is no way just being a regular human but with one arm that would help, because if you try to lift a truck with one arm, you're just going to crush your spine.
Yeah, everything else, which is awesome.
Like you gotta like anchor it against something when you lift things. Yeah. There's nothing to say that you can't replace your spine as well. But
then you're starting to replace more and more. Then you have to
exactly, yeah.
To put up with a new spine and rib cage, all of it, all of it had to go.
I saw a comment on one of the videos I was watching earlier about this that saying, imagine there was a girl with a robot arm that had like a lot of LEDs on it to make it look cool, and the comment was like, imagine getting into an argument with someone with a robot arm and suddenly all their LEDs turn red.
Yeah. And you just get the disembodied voice of kill mode activated.
Yeah.
You could have like hidden knives and things. Probably get into the subjects that we'll probably talk about more later on in terms of like legality and things, but you could probably just get away with like blades in there. I'm thinking like, I'm watching the Ian Davis guy again. I'm just thinking like, what if you could just sort of like hold your hand in a certain way and you have your Wolverine claws come out?
I mean, I guess here's the thing, like cool. We already have people replacing bones with metal. Like there's hip replacements, that sort of thing.
Some of them cause issues, but
yeah. But if you say replaced the what's the forearm bone? What's that called again?
Tibia.
Tibia, yeah. Tibia, fibia, one of those. Say you replace that with metal, like Wolverine style. Obviously, bone does a lot more than just provide structure. There's bone marrow, which produces red blood cells, that sort of thing. But surely, if you could do that mechanically, a steel bar or a titanium bar is going to be stronger than bone, surely.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean,
So you could make it hollow and lighter, and but still have the same strength.
Yeah, because imagine something which I've not really looked into. You could probably sort of like make your way around those sort of issues with like the red blood cell production, sort of like.
That's an issue, yeah.
Well, but like with the more advanced cybernetics or even genetic enhancement, you could probably get it to the stage where you double the reproduction or like the production of your organs and things as well. So like you could have all of these, just having your complete skeleton replaced, but have a new sort of gland within your body somewhere else, which does the same job but far more efficiently.
Yeah, I mean, what the lungs obviously. Well, okay, the heart is just a pump. We've already proved that people have got mechanical hearts already, pacemakers that as well help with the, the what's it, the electric shock to make it beat properly.
Yeah, it's basically deeper.
Yeah. People have that. There are such things as mechanical hearts. People have those. It is literally just a pump. It's a very efficient and long-lasting pump. But there's no reason why you can't replace that with a mechanical device. It doesn't have to be the same size either. It could be smaller. What I'm saying is that if you start replacing body parts with things that are smaller and more efficient, then you're going to have a lot of excess space to put cool things in.
Which is where we get to like flight and as JD says, weaponry.
I can't imagine. I mean, obviously, body parts are evolved organically. That a lot of them have alternative functions as well that we may not even know about. Like if you remove somebody's liver, like the liver has endless functionality. It's got so much stuff. Well, yeah. I mean, maybe my liver needs to be removed at this point.
I was going to say, if you can make that more efficient, oh my god, sign me the fuck up.
Well, I mean,
I also know a lot of people who would also want that over.
Yeah, you need to be able to chug a bottle of Southern Comfort or whatever, and just be fine.
Oh god, half the thought.
I guess at that point, like, I guess something that I was kind of thinking about is that we're kind of evolved to operate on a human's like scale, I suppose.
Yeah. So
we're evolved to operate at a human level of strength, a human level of like hearing, senses, whatever. If say you got super hearing, for example, then you start hearing sounds that no one else could hear that are absolutely unbearable.
Yeah, so you've got like a wider range of.
So, like for example, there's devices where they put outside shops that set off a really high pitched noise that only younger people can hear because older people lose their hearing with age.
It's not like the mosquito sound.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah. That sort of thing
I've heard of them using it. Yeah, your range of frequency which you can hear decreases as you get older.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that these abilities will probably come with downsides. That means that it might be a good idea to be able to turn them off and sort of revert back to the default setting, which is the basic human length scale or strength scale, I guess. I mean, if you have super strength, there's so many people who don't know their own strength or who will accidentally do things like if you think about how hard it is to accurately punch something with an amount of force. Like it
is difficult. Yeah.
It is difficult, yeah.
As we can both attest to from years of martial arts, but
yeah.
You try and get used to it. But
exactly. But
when you've not done it for a while, you do start to realize, like, Jesus, I would have made that. my feet aren't going exactly where I want them to.
Yeah, well, I've found as I put on weight, I've started to do boxing again, and having put on a bit of weight, I can find I can hit a bag a lot harder.
Yeah,
which is like obviously I leave and my knuckles are like cut up, even though they're inside bags, inside gloves and hand wraps. I come out and I'm like, oh shit, my fingers are fucked.
It's also probably because you're not conditioned as well as you once were.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, if let's say if you do go for the cybernetic enhancements of your strength, well, if you've still covered it in puny human skin, well,
that's
disappearing pretty quickly.
That's what I was saying. That's a good point actually. Yeah, it's similar to the one arm being an issue. Like if you have super strength, then you're also going to need super durability, because if you're strong enough to bench press a car and then you go to punch through a wall, you're going to break every bone in your arm. Jaws is chunky confirmed. Fuck you. I've lost some weight.
It's lockdown. Lockdown's a bitch. That's what I'm
Yeah.
blaming.
I'm just out of shape. That's all.
Oh mate, I am a perfect circle at this point.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Round boy. 20 kilos lost by Christmas. That's what we're going for.
How's that going?
I've lost 2 so far.
That's not too bad, I guess.
Well, I've got a pack of cookies just staring at me right now.
I've started. I've actually started doing a bit of intermittent fasting, which is all right. I'm trying to only eat between like 12 and 6 or 7 in the evening.
Yeah, I'm the same. 12 and 7.
I guess I wanted to do it 12 and 6 because that would work out very well with work, but it seems that all the martial arts stuff that I want to do, they only do stuff between at like 5:30, which means that I don't have time to eat beforehand, or I don't really want to eat beforehand.
Yeah. Well, I'm starting my ridiculous gym routine again.
Oh, nice.
Getting up at 5:30 in the morning and
Bruh.
straight to the gym at 6, and then back home and breakfast before work. I'm not looking forward to it, to be honest.
I mean, if you're fasting as well, then exercising at the point where you are hitting that kind of final level of hunger before you eat, that's probably the time where you're going to start burning fat the most, I guess.
I've no idea, if I'm being honest. I'm just going to try it, and then if my body's like, mate, you're going to die.
Yeah.
You're going to go do an hour's proper full body workout, and then
your recovery might be a bit fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, that is my worry, but I'm just going to chalk it down to my body being a pussy. And fight my way through it until I either pass out or just go, maybe I am being stupid.
The few times I've been to the gym in the morning, I did nearly throw up before going home to eat breakfast.
To be honest, I mean, before lockdown, when I was getting back into shape, I was doing it for like a couple of months, or a month and a half, I should have been. And I felt perfectly fine. I felt great afterwards. Like once you start getting used to it, that sort of like burst of energy you get from like that good dull ache of your muscles.
Well, it's because you're burning fat at that point, so it kicks into gear, having loads of energy.
Yeah, drinking shit tons of water, cold showers. Oh my god, it's beautiful.
That's another thing, actually. Kind of getting back on topic is if you do have all these enhancements, then powering them is also an issue. Like we kind of covered this a little bit with the exoskeletons that we talked about a few weeks ago.
Yeah, actually, again, that's another thing which I'm not really.
If you have a mechanical arm, then if it runs out of power, then you're stuck with a dead weight attached to you.
Yeah, it's got to drag it along.
Well, yeah, I mean,
legs go. Jesus.
I would have thought they don't take that much power. Like
I've just got this image of cybernetic legs just realizing that they're low on energy and just going, right, no, we've got to go charge, and then they just take you. They just start running on the
yeah.
No, wait, no.
Like, this guy here.
This is the Harvard guy.
Yeah, if you look, they're moving very realistically, but watch this. Yeah, look. So this guy, just as a side note, I know it's a TED Talk and they're normally cringe as fuck, but Hugh Herr is a Harvard PhD professor. Oh, no, PhD, Harvard professor. I don't know what of, but he is a Harvard professor who specializes in prosthetics and that sort of thing. So obviously having bionic legs, he lost them in a mountain climbing accident, helps, like, gives him a bit of an incentive, I guess. But what I'm saying is that's not going to use very much power just doing that, you know. Like actuating a little servo motor, a very small amount to do that sort of movement is going to be tiny.
Yeah.
I guess and obviously he can take them off to charge them and just sit there for a bit, I suppose.
Well, I mean, he's not going anywhere else, is he?
Exactly. I guess, or they could just have replaceable rechargeable batteries.
Yeah, but then you've got to carry him around with you if you're going around town.
I mean, so long as you plan your routine, I'm sure if he goes to work and back, like, as I said, I wouldn't have thought they'd use that much power.
No, well, I mean, it depends on what you're using them for. If you're using them to enhance, so you've got electric bikes, say, if you're using it, like you can have it set it so the battery power only kicks in at a certain incline or something like that. If you're doing that to sort of help you, then that's going to take up more power. But if you're just having them, because I mean, there's like the blade legs and things which are just mechanical at the minute.
That would be cool. I mean, they've got springs and stuff in them, don't they, to help with the pushing force?
I believe so. I mean, I think the ones which the Paralympic runners, I think it's just purely the design of the blades themselves, because of the way that they're able to bend. You can push off them far harder. And
what I want to see, right? I guess this is the key line. A key line that we're going to cross is when the Paralympians become faster and stronger than the regular Olympians.
I've said this. I don't know whether it was in this podcast or the last one we did, but I'm all for having an enhanced human Olympics, whether that's through drugs or cybernetics or eugenics as well. But the eugenics league, just see how superior they become.
This is a thing, Cyborg Olympics. It's a bit crap at the moment. They just have exoskeletons and stuff like that. Like paraplegics and an exoskeleton, that sort of thing. Like powered exoskeleton race. This is a thing, but the Paralympians, I guess, are where it's at, funding-wise and public perception-wise.
Yeah, look, we're helping these people.
So, really, like, if you have... But yeah, if you have people running on those blades, then at what point are they going to be better than Usain Bolt, say, if they've got superpowered legs?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'd take too much, to be honest.
Actually, that's a good point. What is the world record for the 100 meters? For example, Paralympic 100 meter race.
I still think it's slower.
Sure, it is. Because obviously, the people that you have in the Paralympics are, you got like a much smaller pool to choose from.
Yeah.
I don't know what these tiers are.
Sorry.
I don't know what these tiers are because they have different categories for different. Oh, here we go. So what do we want? We want ones which have amputations, I guess.
Yeah.
40 to 46. So imagine the guy. This is a bit harsh, but a guy running on superpowered legs versus a dwarf.
You're laughing, but when that dwarf brings down his mech suit.
Yeah, it's a dwarf in it's a mech suit, but it's like regular human size.
Yeah.
He's running along in this like a biomechanical body. So what is this T? What we were looking for? T 40 to 46.
Yeah.
So it's these ones then, I guess. 10.5.
I mean, it's only a second off.
10.5. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Who is this Brazilian guy? He's not black. Right. So I guess
I'll be honest. I feel that guy has a pretty good advantage in the fact that his amputation was of his arm, not his legs.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I feel like that puts him on a different ground.
Yeah, which is the one with the
that just makes him lighter.
I don't.
I mean, search for what Pistorius was in. He's the only famous one that people know.
That's good. Okay, 100 meter time. He did it in 11. Double. Okay, what's the double amputee?
Land speed record.
Double amputee set a time of 10:77.
Right, which is a second slower than Bolt, I think. What was Bolt's time?
Oh, she's female. Hang on.
I can get it quicker than that.
So, okay, as a control, what if we just got hold of Usain Bolt and cut his legs off, and then...
I'm sure he may have something to say about that.
Nah, it doesn't matter. It's for science. And then we see from there, like, what you could do to replace his legs to make him go faster.
Yeah.
Um,
Listen, Bolt, it's all in the name of science.
the Cured Heredex is asking how much of the human body could you replace with prosthetics? I mean, like,
all of it.
well, like there's different degrees of difficulty. Like obviously arms and legs and stuff where we're
Right
getting
now,
pretty good
yeah,
at.
you couldn't. But in the future, I see no reason as to why you couldn't.
Like your brain might be difficult.
Well, I mean, if the guy for the like with the Neuralink stuff, which I'm sure we'll come on to in terms of like
Yeah,
interface.
I know very little about it, to be honest. I haven't looked into it at all.
Nor do I, honestly. But
Or we can do a bit of live research.
Live research, that's the professionals that we are. But
Yeah.
I mean, with that sort of like understanding how the brains run, then if you turn it into like purely electrical signals, eventually you have enough research from that you can actually make a proper human AI, I imagine.
Well, it's called is it full brain emulation or something?
Sure. I mean, that sounds like something it'd be.
Yeah, it's like it's difficult though because obviously the brain isn't. You really want to do the whole nervous system, not just the brain, because the brain takes so much like input from the rest of the body that it kind of acts like one thing with the rest of the body. Like say you built a brain in virtual reality or in some computer, emulated it in a computer, which they have done with like,
yeah,
I've done it with like tapeworms and stuff. And it's like if you can't simulate the inputs and outputs, then well, I guess and outputs, I suppose, then like it's so much of the brain is kind of shut down at that point because there's such large parts of it that are to do with like seeing and touching and your senses and moving parts of your body. And like if they don't exist, then what have you got left?
Your imagination.
So you've got a human mind trapped in eternal darkness, unable to.
That's how I feel on a daily basis.
Oh right, okay.
What's your point?
I mean, here's the thing about we'll talk about AI at some other point, but like if you created a human level AI, you'd have to feed it all this input and output data. So like if you had just a simulated brain again and you were simulating what it could see and hear, then you control everything that it knows. So there's no way it can rebel or break out or anything because it physically doesn't know.
But when you connect it to the internet, have you not seen movies?
Why would you connect it to the internet?
And what if it connects itself to the internet?
How would it know that there's such a thing as an internet?
Some stupid intern goes, "Oh, I saw this on the internet.
I saw this on Reddit."
And it's like, then you just see it cuts to the robot and they go, "What's this internet?" And everyone just goes, "Oh, fuck."
There's a...
Then you kill it goes all over the internet, and then the next one finds out and actually connects to it, and then it sees it and goes, "You killed my brothers," and that's how
there is a data set that is just the internet that is sometimes used for AI training.
Oh god.
It's
what are they doing?
Everything on the internet, like all the data.
So much.
I mean, God, just give it Tumblr or Twitter.
Christ, it'd be the ultimate fucking machine. Give me the ability to spit into the mouth.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm just here to lower the bar. That's why you invite me onto this thing. Oh, God.
Hook the robot up to Reddit and boom, you've created a furry anti-theist. Jesus Christ. I mean, hook it up to Twitter and you've got like a raging communist.
I was going to say, the worst two things that you could connect it to is probably Reddit and Twitter. I can't think of anything worse, honestly.
Or like 4chan, can you imagine?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine? You just get your AI
think a robot could get, yeah. I think a robot could become autistic, but here we go.
What we talk about? Okay, yes. So how much of the human body could you replace? The brain's going to be the last most difficult part.
Yeah, it's the most complex
because it's like the nervous system is like a command and control for all the other parts. Like it sits on top and orchestrates everything else.
On what JD's just said, why don't we do that? Like download Hopper's mind onto one robot, and then I don't know, somebody who had the complete opposite views to him fucking Marx or something and just make them argue. Or sod it, have them fight. Have them...
like Pacific Rim.
yeah. Or have it like what's that boxing chess, but like debating.
Oh yeah,
debate and then robot wars.
Yeah, I'm skeptical of the downloading and uploading thing is kind of similar to teleportation in that it's basically just copying. Like you can't move it, you have to copy it.
Yeah, you'd be replicating the original.
So if say I hooked my brain up to a giant server and like scanned my brain with some magic technology, and then used that server to emulate my brain, say, that's still not me. I'm still there, if that makes sense. Even if I then was destroyed somehow, I don't suddenly wake up inside the machine. Like I'm gone. That machine with the copy of me is still there. So as far as everyone else is concerned, it's me, but I'm gone.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically how computers work. Is just copying one thing to somewhere else.
So unless you find some, if you basically solve what is consciousness essentially, and find some way to move consciousnesses out of your brain somehow, I don't know, which seems a bit esoteric, and you have to basically figure out how to digitize the soul or something. Which, what I can see happening is, have you seen the movie, what's it called? Oh, fuck. My mind's got a complete blank. It's by Christopher Nolan. There's magicians in it.
Oh, Prestige.
Yes, that's the one. Where he teleports himself around, but he has to kill himself every time he does it. So he doesn't. Yeah. So, but then he doesn't realize that.
Wait to go and ruin an excellent twist.
That's fine. Yeah. So like, what I can see happening is that people start uploading their minds into computers or teleporting, whatever, and then they die thinking they're going to wake up inside the computer, and they don't, because that's not possible yet. But no one realizes because everyone's already a copy inside the computer, so they think they're waking up at that point. Yeah, so the brain wakes up on the death of the original, and then because they've got all the memories, they think that they're them. But the original's obviously gone. Helicopter transforms into giant Pinochet. Absolutely. Yeah, mind uploading is one that I'm a bit skeptical of. But like the rest of the human body, I guess if you could replace probably everything apart from the nervous system, and then even then, like the nervous system is translating electrical signals. So
yeah, all it is biological wires.
We're pretty good at that. And obviously it's very complicated and there's a lot to it, but so is a telecommunications network, so is like the internet.
Well, that's virtually all it is a giant telecommunications network. It's just
we are good at that, like in the modern world. I mean, maybe less than I thought before I started working with telecoms companies. But
it's always the case. They've always got that charade. I'm like, oh yeah, we're really good at it. Jesus Christ, why? I'm surprised everything's not on fire. That's me at this power station. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Sometimes we are. But...
Yeah. So I feel like, well, blood vessels. I mean, obviously, we were talking about replacing bones, so you'd have to have some sort of alternate factory for red blood cells.
Yeah, but I mean, as soon as you know the process of that.
But
why
obviously,
can't you recreate it in a smaller vessel? This is sort of like what I was going back to before. If you were replacing your bones, just have a smaller thing which does the same job but 10 times more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, if you can take and like say, obviously, either you've got a lot of mass of your body is bone. A lot of your body is like physically volume as well as bone.
Not mine.
of the average human, then if you can basically replicate, I don't know how many red blood cells the human body creates, like per minute, I guess. Red Blood cell production. How many? Wait, what's that? Is that a red blood cell? Erythrocyte?
You're asking the wrong person. I got a C in biology.
I'm shit at. Yes, it's a red blood cell. Yes, so they make 2 million per second. Oh fuck, that's a lot. That's ridiculous. What the fuck? I didn't know that. And they last about 100 days. Yeah. Damn, human body's good. I guess so. Say you need however many bones you have in your body, that amount of biology or biological material and bone marrow and stuff to create that many red blood cells. If you could improve on that and say do it in like a rib or two's amount of fake bone, then that leaves you a whole lot of other bones to put other stuff in.
So you're saying you could get rid of the bottom 2 ribs?
Jesus Christ.
Asking for a friend. It's been a fat and lonely 6 months.
Oh Christ.
Moving swiftly on.
Lost my train of thought now. So I guess at that point, like, why do you, if you're going to start fucking with the brain and the nervous system, why not decentralize your brain and spread it out throughout your body? If you've got lots of hollow bones around, then
it's like Horcruxes.
Yeah. So what? So you decapitate somebody, and then, well, most of their brain is still inside their body.
Oh God! So you just got humans wandering around without heads.
Okay. Well, here's what would happen. So you decapitate somebody, they'd have like so little tourniquets in each artery that immediately close, shutting off any blood loss. You got like a backup. Obviously, that's in the body and in the head. You got like a backup little pump in your, say, I don't know, in your sinus or like in your inside your brain that starts pumping blood around and breathing and oxygenating. I guess you need some sort of bypass for your body as well to breathe with, other than your nose. At that point, like, your body could feel around, find the head, and run away, get surgery.
I think he's going to be able to say survive without it. No, he still needs to go get it. I'm just imagining him running away with like a rugby ball.
Yeah, it's like the Velma from Scooby-Doo. Like, I've lost my glasses, like feeling around. I think this is true. I think it could be just like another legend.
It was on QI, so it's true.
Oh, it must be true then. Stephen Fry said it, so
Stephen Fry would not lie to me. Yeah, I think different things replace themselves every different times. I think some last. I think there's a few things which last from birth until the day you die. But I can't remember. What's the
your heart. Well, is it? Well, in women, it's egg cells. I think they are born with all the eggs they'll ever have.
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm pretty sure Stephen Fry supported the Green New Deal, by the way. There was something that he supported. I was like, how the fuck can you support that? Anyway, Gotts von Berlichingen, something like that.
Talk about German guy.
So, yeah, I mean, we're kind of talking about stuff that this is for the far future. We're not really talking about stuff that we can do now, but it's good to just kind of continue on this way because it's interesting. Yeah. So I guess you sent me this article that we can have a brief look at, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I've not read through it myself.
Actually, one thing to add on the cybernetics is that a point to say is that a cyborg would, past a certain point, be an it. I've been watching a lot of Isaac Arthur. Have you heard of him on YouTube?
No.
I'm watching a lot of his stuff recently. I think a lot of the inspiration for the stuff I've said here has been from his videos.
Right.
He was talking about the fact that a man in a spacesuit or in like an aqua lung or whatever would count as a cyborg, because they can get feedback from their surroundings and it allows them to surround within that new environment.
Right.
What he also pointed out is that the cyborg is the system as a whole, so it's the man plus the suit, not just the man. It's the man plus the suit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's hard to conceptualize that when it's a person within a suit, but it's easy to conceptualize it when it's a person missing a hand who's got a replacement hand.
So how does that pertain to us becoming it?
Because the it is the person plus the. So you still call a car an it, even though it's got a person inside it.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. Sort of get what you mean.
Or like a traffic system, even though it's got people driving around it, is still an it. But it can still be classed as something cybernetic, because it's got all these feedback loops and control mechanisms and that sort of thing, involving the interaction between men and people. And because cybernetics, as I was saying at the start, it comes from it's all to do with control and systems engineering. It's not really to do with biomechanical stuff. That's just kind of what it's become in popular culture.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this now and just going, maybe I could get a job in this. This is very similar.
Well, that's what I was saying. Yeah, like systems and control engineering, I thought was right up your street.
Well, to be honest, that is what I am. I'm a control engineer.
Yeah,
so, control and instrumentation, which is
like cybernetics study all sorts. Cyberneticists study all sorts of things. One thing I did see was in the history of it, fucking this bastard John von Neumann discovered von Neumann's cellular automata, which is what I spent a while. I think it's probably my greatest academic work was on this at university, better even than my maths project.
Is this the same von Neumann that the like basic computer architecture?
Yep. And the von Neumann probe as well is an idea for a space probe. It's a bit also from him. He's an interesting guy, but oh my god, his fucking cellular automata.
Are you not a fan?
Well, I think it was popularized by Wolfram, the same guy of Wolfram Alpha. I can talk about them again. It's actually, that's a good point. Maybe I can, because Jack, Economic Erudite, wanted me to. He's starting a stream series where he's going to be talking to people about stuff that interests them.
Yeah. And
I kind of wanted to. I'm going to go on in a couple of weeks, but I kind of wanted to do something I wouldn't talk about here. So I might do this cellular automata, because I used it for disease research.
Was this when you made your disease simulation, basically?
Yes, I did sort of viral modeling, which obviously is a bit,
Where have you been for the past 6 months?
I know. I said this at the very beginning. Fucking the COVID models compared to my model was better. Like, I compared it to models of flu outbreaks in China.
Sitting on it, just telling us 5 about it.
I compared it to
disease
to models of like data from Guangzhou in China, which is not far from Wuhan. Like, and it fitted the data that like the curves and the way that the like infection spiked and that sort of thing. It fitted it pretty well.
Right.
Obviously, I would never dream of using it to implement any sort of policy. Like, it's just a fun little trick, but I could talk about it, I guess. It's a presentation I've done several times already, so maybe that's something that people would be interested in. Entirely like not relevant here. We'll close that. So I guess this is from what, Interesting Engineering? You sent me this. I haven't read it, so we can have a look, see if there's anything interesting here.
It's the first link I found.
That's fine.
It's just 9 ideas, which I think are quite cool to talk about.
Yeah, it's good for topics we can discuss. So Norbert Wiener seems to be the guy who came up with all this sort of thing. Yeah, so he says cybernetics is the study of control and communication in the animal and the machine. So they also study like homeostasis loops within humans, that sort of thing.
We have cyber wolves.
Why not? I saw, I found a link a while ago where the US military were trying to remote control dragonflies, like the bug.
I think we came across this actually, or I came across it when we were talking about the infantry stuff, like some of the drones which they were on about using. I think it may have been dragonflies. I think it was cockroaches, or some sort of beetle. That were trying to like tack on little things to control them and get reconnaissance information from them.
Sort of buzz them if they don't go the right direction, that sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't do this to a dog or a cat or something like.
Well, now I'm thinking like the Neuralink.
Actually, one of these ones,
powerful.
One of these ones they had a monkey. It might have been this one. Yeah, it's this guy. They had it's here. So there's a monkey in like a wheelchair here, and it has to. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Look at your Autodesk.
These goddamn adverts. Fusion. They got this monkey that has to find its way around the room in the wheelchair, and the wheelchair is like hooked up to its brain.
Right.
So it knows it can move the wheelchair by itself, and it has to find the food in the room. But I guess it's better than doing it with a human. Yeah. Okay, so we can have a look at this then. So I've seen things on fixing people's eyesight with brain implants and bionic eyes, which is quite cool. It doesn't seem they don't see things like we see them. They kind of see sort of flashes of light.
Yeah.
But it's better than like a cane or a guide dog. Like they can make out objects on a table and things on a computer screen and that sort of thing.
Which is pretty cool.
Which is mad. That's like biblical levels of power, being able to restore sight in the blind.
Miracles, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think the issue is that is just going to be a recurring thing. Is the interface? How do you get the same signals from the human and the cybernetic part? That's the thing which is.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of ways of doing it. There's a few ways of doing it. It seems to be a lot easier with the arms and legs.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they're quite simple in comparison.
Yeah.
Like movement is a lot more simpler than like the level of vision that we've got.
Oh, wait, where did that link go?
You're talking about like that sort of sight where you can only sort of see different levels of light. You're not really seeing like the spectrums that we do.
So
that's like single cell organism type sight, or like very, very small.
It's like the initial evolution of eyes in animals.
Yeah. So it's like that. Another issue is probably going to be bandwidth as well. It's an awful lot of information. Like it's something ridiculous, like in the terabytes per second.
Well, the first eye bionic eyes were created in like the it's like 70s, it's ages ago. But the guy had to be hooked up to a 2-ton mainframe for it to work.
Which is not ideal if you're trying to move about.
So what they have here for the control system this is from a very recent video from the University of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And what they had is, this is for a bionic hand, and they are using direct signals from the nerves in the arm.
Yeah.
So this is what I said about having the amputation having to be done in a very specific way, because if these nerves are destroyed, then you can't obviously attach the arm or have it controlled properly. So what they have is they've managed to come up with some way of greatly amplifying the signal from the nerve, because obviously it's just an electric pulse. And then from there, once they've amplified it, they can then detect it, pick up exactly what the person was trying to do. So they'll probably apply some sort of learning model where the person thinks about moving a finger, and then they see then they get the arm at that point to move its finger, and then it remembers that signal means move your finger. And then obviously they can build that up for all sorts of different movements. There's one in the other videos as well. There's a bit where there's a guy kind of walking around. Is it this one? I don't think it's this one. There was a video that I saw of a guy with it's like the lower half of his leg. So he was born with a club foot and had it amputated when he was older.
Right.
And so it's like just from below the knee. And he had this obviously bionic leg that he's walking around on. He can't feel anything through it. Well, at that time, he couldn't feel anything through it. But he was basically walking around this lab, and it wireless. It wasn't connected to anything. But then he was saying to the technician, the PhD student in the lab, oh, that the ankle's a bit stiff, or it's not moving correctly, and the guy would make some changes, and then he'd be like, oh, that's much better, and then carry on walking around, and they'd kind of patch it and tweak it as it goes. So I can see as this, if this becomes more commercial, that you'd have some app on your phone that would be able to do this. So in the same
you
way,
could just have it as like a variable tuner.
Yeah. So the same way that I'm sat here in my room with an app on my phone that I can change the temperature in my room.
Yeah, I'm thinking like in my car, I've got like comfort mode.
Yeah.
Environmental friendly mode.
Well,
sport mode.
Sprint mode.
Kill.
Yeah, there's literally no reason why you couldn't do that.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome.
So you could tune it, I guess is the word, for what position you're in. If you want to run, you put it into sprint mode, off you go. If you want to just walk around regularly, you have like a regular mode. If you want to relax, then you might have another mode.
Yeah, power saver.
Yeah.
Auto mode. This is the where I want to go. Okay, cool, we're going. Yeah.
I guess you need like the lower half of your body then, rather than just below the knee.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd have to prop you up in some way.
Yeah,
just
like
go limp and it just
I can see this becoming a little bit like Internet of Things kind of.
Oh, easily. Yeah. I mean, the
a lot of things on here, like I've seen stuff about enhancing your senses, that sort of thing. Like this is where the vision, full spectrum vision comes in.
Well, it's full spectrum and telescopic.
Yeah, so if you walk into your house, then you can have all sorts of IoT devices around your house feeding you information about your house. So say you have a bionic eye, you have some sort of augmented reality thing over the top of your normal vision that says, so if you're out shopping, you're like, okay, what do I have in my fridge? And then it will just overlay it on your vision.
Yeah, you can scan.
Or connected to you, it's connected to your smart fridge, say.
Yeah.
That's one example, I guess. Or if you get in your car, then it would link up to all sorts of sensors around your car, and you'd be able to park easier, I guess.
That'll park itself soon enough. So.
Well, I mean, if we're moving towards automatic cars anyway, then.
But no, I get what you mean.
We'll see how that goes.
Or you could even, if we want to sort of call back to a previous episode, weaponry.
Oh yeah,
have it hook up to your rifle if you're an infantryman.
Yeah.
Basically, just aims for you almost, or it might pick up things which you don't normally. Or again, you could have like an AR reticle, so it does like look like you're doing ADS when you're in a game.
I mean, this is all useful for the powered exoskeleton stuff we were talking about, because if you can move something attached to your body with your mind, there's no reason why you can't move something that's not attached to your body with your mind.
Yeah, which is what I was thinking about with the Cyborg.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining some sort of like futuristic Fallout type world, but cool. Where you're just walking around with like two cybernetic wolves, and you just got like this cool cybernetic arm. And
well, I mean, we were talking about having, a power armored soldier, and then he has like squires to help him with ammo and power packs and stuff. Like, why not make them robotic?
Yeah.
Like, say they're the spot dogs, which we already have. Like, why not make them AI controlled most of the time? But if he needs to, we can take control and see what they see, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Or again with drones and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, like you could have all sorts of extra senses from things around you. Your perception doesn't have to kind of
be limited to your own
radiate from yourself, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's full spectrum vision here, which is quite cool. We've got cameras that can see all sorts of things. We can zoom in and out. As I said, unless you add some extra part to your brain, it might be hard to have this on all the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly going to have to be. Well, I mean, if your brain's not up to it, if you know what I mean, like if your brain's not able to process what it's.
Well, I mean, the thing,
it's going to have to be a sort of another.
I guess
interface between which like sort of conveys it into.
Yeah, there's two differences. There's two things with night vision is that what it does is it translates it into colors that we recognize.
Yeah.
So your brain can process it, but that's not true night vision, is it? Because true night vision would just be able to see at night like normal, and like you may have different colors that we don't even conceive of. Obviously, like you can't describe what the color red looks like without describing something that looks red.
Always frustrates me that thought.
But like we could have there could be other colors out there that we don't even recognize that our brain makes up, because obviously all of the colors that we know are made up by our brain.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Afternoon, Sanders 101.
Well,
brain-computer interfacing. So this is like the Neuralink stuff.
Yes.
So
this, I think, is probably the biggest step towards all of this. Because ultimately, as we've already established, brain is what is used to control everything.
Yeah, I mean,
put it bluntly,
I see it as having to become. I've heard of brain net. This is This is a bit like. I don't see this as the example I've heard is like you have a paraplegic hooked up to this sort of thing, and it means they can control their computer. They can like click on things and without having to move or touch anything.
Yeah, it's all done by pure thought.
Which is cool. But I mean, the idea of having to wear this sort of thing, I mean, I guess it's less invasive than having something implanted in your skull or like attaching it.
But I mean, you can also have it, get somebody to style it, have it as some sort of like cool helmet of some sort.
Well, like those psychic,
like a Star Trooper.
It's psychic hoods in 40K.
Sure.
I think they act as some sort of dampener to psychic power or like focusing psychic power, which I guess is what this is doing. This is kind of what it's doing, to be honest. If you're trying to move something in your computer, then you have to put this on to focus your psychic power.
Unironically, that is what is happening.
Okay, we've done this super endurance. We've done this to death in our previous one. So go and watch that if you're interested. Number 2, I think.
Episode 2, yeah.
Okay, this is a bit out there.
By psychokinesis, it's not actually talking about psychokinesis. It's not talking about, oh, I see a box over there, bang, levitate.
It's not Jedi mind tricks. Oh, it's drones, okay.
It's drones, yeah. This is what I was sort of referring to before. Where,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of the same stuff that we talked about with the infantry again, of being able to have something external from your body.
Yeah.
But it's controlled by the one central thing, which is you.
That's pretty cool, actually. That's what I'm saying about having the drones and stuff if you're a soldier. He looks like some sort of character from the Matrix. Just like sat there in a weird hood, just like his eyes kind of out of focus because he's concentrating so much.
Yeah, probably not the best for a combat situation, but we'll work on it as we speed up our brains with.
No, I wanted to avoid talking about nanomachines because they're a bit of a sci-fi trope, but I guess
one day they might happen.
Yeah, like, I mean, white blood cells and bacteria and stuff are nanomachines. Like they just evolved over a long period of time.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we couldn't make something if we designed it and like thought, hey, this is how we're going to do it. There's no reason why we couldn't.
Well, I mean, there's still no reason to do it mechanically. You can always design it as like a biological alternative. Be able to implement a robotic control system. If we're doing it for human-sized things, why can't we do it to something smaller and similar?
Well, the fabrication techniques are just horrendous.
Oh yeah, currently, but I'm talking far in the future. But theoretically, why not?
I guess we like to stick to stuff that's not banned by the laws of physics. Like it's stuff that is physically possible. It's just hard.
Well, yeah, but I don't see this as being impossible. Not possible by the laws of physics.
Sure, I mean, if it's
doable biologically, I think it's probably doable in some way by human means as well.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's possible because viruses are a thing.
Exactly.
But just I guess spitballing, like if you injected yourself with like a swarm of like little nanobots, say, that could detect cancer cells and zap them, could basically, like, because it's not really treating the root cause of stuff, is it? It's just like a band-aid on everything.
Pretty much, yeah.
I guess you'd have to probably top them up every so often, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if they could help red blood cells, if they found like I don't know, a blockage in a blood cell, in a blood vessel, say, they could unblock it, that sort of thing. So maybe you could increase people's lifespans through that, just like, I guess, avoidable stuff.
Yeah, or going on to the next part. Anything which is
Yeah.
damaged.
Well, actually, that's a good point. So basically, take the idea of a Fitbit and run with it, pun intended. So a Fitbit is just diagnostic tools for your body, right? So it tells you what your heart rate is, like how you've been sleeping, that sort of thing, and it connects to your phone so you can visualize the data.
Yeah.
Why not expand that if you have things implanted in you or wearing on you that measures all sorts of other things? Then, and if you have bionic eyes that can show the information on your vision, like over the top of your normal vision, then surely you can. Yeah, surely you. Or if you walk into your house, you've got an IoT screen that automatically connects and shows you all the information.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of it as in terms of like make your life into an RPG. There's a really good like Korean comic called Solo Leveling. So edgy and so like weeby, but that's how I imagine it. Basically, the guy just turns his life into an RPG, or gets his life turned into an RPG. That's exactly what I'm seeing it as.
Yeah, I guess. Well, at that point, I mean, we were talking about earlier about wanting to like lose weight and diet and stuff, but at that point, you'd be able to see how many calories do I need to take today, like what like nutrients am I missing, what vitamins do I need to take, that sort of thing. Like you could, and then you could have it like down to the milligram or whatever, how much you need to have to be healthy.
Yeah.
And then you could even have implants that can have like basic ways of administering those drugs. So say I need this much vitamin D today. I mean, you could go outside. That's probably not the best example. Vitamin C. Vitamin C. I need this much vitamin C today. And it just gives you the exact specific amount. Or I need this much, something random like zinc or iron or whatever.
Yeah, just have them as sort of like pellets.
Yeah, so we'll have
it's auto injection sort of things.
Yeah.
Thinking like a utility belt.
March of Devils complaining at me that the footy's on, so he doesn't want to watch. Told them that the footy is for plebs. What was I saying? Yeah. Self-repair and growth. Self. Oh, what? So this is about making you 8 foot tall.
But yes. Why not? I mean, if you're able to stimulate things or expand, if you replace them. I sort of made the comment before we started recording about the guy on that TED Talk. To me, he sort of looks like his legs look disproportionate. I think he's added a couple of inches on.
Oh yeah, you mean he's made himself taller through the prosthetic legs?
Yeah.
So, what's he got? This guy, yeah. I see what you mean. His knees are kind of here, I guess.
Yeah, and his bottom of his legs. It might be because of the difference between the suit shorts and.
I mean, there's only so large. There's only so small you can make these, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't physically cram the technology into a small enough space, then you are going to have to make it slightly bigger.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. But I think he was like 5'6" and wanted to be that solid 5'9". He wanted to be able to look at women in the eyes.
Oh my god, I'm skeptical of this one, about being able to regrow limbs and shit.
I don't think you'd be able to regrow limbs. I think that is sci-fi in terms of like nanotechnology. I think that's probably what it's more alluding to, because I don't think you'd be able to. No, I don't think you could. Not instantaneously. Not like
flight. We talked about this one as well with the Richard. Oh, this guy. Yeah, he's the gravity guy. The jetpack. I'm not convinced by that either. Like, why would you graft wings onto your body or something?
Because it's cool.
But you could just wear a wingsuit.
Yeah, but if I'm 8 foot tall and built like a brick shithouse already, why don't I also want the ability to fly?
So you're just going to become like an angel.
Yeah, and rain hell upon people.
but like, can you imagine having wings? Like, how awkward that would be. Wings like an
don't have
angel.
them out permanently because of all my other cybernetics. I basically can get all my organs into the palm of my hand. So there's loads of room just wandering around my 8-foot tall torso.
Yeah, the less room you have for organs, the more you can put muscle in.
Exactly. Or I'd be willing to sacrifice some muscle for wings.
I'm
How
more.
cool would that be? Middle
I'm
of an
more on
argument
the.
and just
I'm
go,
more on
right,
the Iron Man.
I'm sick of this shit. Woof, gone.
I'm more on the Iron Man idea.
Oh, well, sorry, I'm being a bit more realistic. I want them built into my back.
This is an interesting one. Giving, like, kind of, what's this? What is this? He made edits to the gene CCR5 would make children immune to AIDS. Scientists speculate he may have been trying to improve the brain cognition of babies. But, like, it's so hard to quantize intelligence, really. Like, I mean, you can go with IQ. Like, how do you physically measure how, like, if you literally are a doctor doing an MRI scan of somebody, how do you like measure somebody's intelligence without asking them a test?
Don't know.
Like, where does it come from physically, genetically, whatever? Like, you can't do an MRI scan of somebody's body and say they have this IQ.
To be honest, I was thinking like more of the intelligence stuff in terms of like perception.
I was thinking more about reaction times.
Well, yeah. But like, if you're able to see things in slower, like it's hard to sort of say because obviously things are still going to work in real time, but your perception of it is slower.
If you manage to speed up
or quicker,
if you manage to speed up, like say double your brain function, would that mean that everything looks like it's in slow motion to you?
Yeah, that's sort of the thing I'm thinking of. I think
but that would mean
scene in Hobbs and Shaw, if you ever saw that, where it's like Idris Elba basically brings up a UI which it looks like the Pit Boy from what is it, the VATS system in Fallout?
Oh yeah, from Fallout, yeah.
Yeah, it sort of looks like that. It's like that's the sort of thing which was sort of envisioning with super intelligence.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, if you could speed up, I mean, you'd have to have some sort of dial on it because you'd go mad if you were living in everything was in slow motion.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, you'd have to be able to turn it on and off.
I mean, it'd be cool. Like, I mean, especially if you had increased like speed in your body, so you could move faster than everyone else. But you could move in real time and everyone else was in slow motion. I guess moving quickly and turning quickly will induce more G-forces on you, so you probably get vertigo. Might not be the best.
But we take care of that electronically as well.
All I'm saying is that like these things have downsides and they have effects that you may not think about.
They just lead to more modification.
Exactly. So once you modify one thing, you have to modify other things to compensate.
Yeah.
That's, like I said, the example of the having one robotic arm that's super strong, you'd have to increase your whole body to kind of support it.
Yeah. Like musculature.
Yeah. Which is your spine. Like, can you imagine like the Winter Soldier goes to chuck a truck at Captain America and he just like breaks himself in half, lifting it up. I haven't seen that. A short story from Wells, the new accelerator explores speed. I might have to look into that. That's quite sounds good. Isn't that the thing behind like super fast, like the Flash and Quicksilver and that? Like that's their superpower, I suppose.
No idea. I know Flash is the Speed Force. That's all I know.
Well, yeah, some bullshit there. The protagonist starts burning from air friction when he moves. Ugh. I mean, that's not how. That's not how. I mean, the reason that space capsules heat up isn't because of friction. It's because they supersonically compress the air in front of them, which causes it to heat up. I guess that would still happen if you're moving fast, but it's not friction. Immortality. What the fuck?
I think this is sort of going back to if you've got a system within you which is constantly looking for problems and solving them.
Yeah, I mean, aging is actually not non-trivial as well. Like, it's hard. It's a bit like intelligence. Is the people age at different rates, and it's like the actual physical macro process of aging Like you see somebody getting older, but the individual parts of their body will be doing different things, I guess. It's actually quite hard to pin down what causes aging as a sort of root cause. There's all sorts of things about like is it telomeres, like the little caps on the end of DNA?
Oh yeah, no, I've heard of those. Yeah,
they're supposed to wear down with age, and there was some sort of mad enzyme that was meant to fix them that people marketed as an aging pill.
Yeah,
I feel like, yeah, like if you could suddenly, I mean, this sort of thing probably, if people suddenly crack it, like what causes aging as a root cause, and then they come up with a treatment for it, at that point the human life expectancy is going to go up like exponentially.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. That'd almost be sort of an abstract episode for this. But if we did gain immortality, how would that change society?
Yeah, I mean, it would fuck it in a lot of ways. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, pension plans would have to go out the window.
Yeah, you are just working forever. That is it.
Well, yeah, like I mean, you'd end up with somebody being born and they've got to wait 200 years before they have any experience compared to anyone else.
Jeez.
Can you imagine like a guy who's been in the same job for 1,000 years? Like how much experience he'd have, and like how much.
Looking at the people who've been in the same job for 30 years, they look fucking depressed.
Well, I mean, you would
just become like the guy from Groundhog Day, just an expert at everything.
Well, exactly, yeah. Like if I had another 1,000 years to live, I'd just go pick a topic and go and get like the highest possible qualifications that I could in it. Like, because it's like you're not wasting any time. Like the reason that you don't, I mean, you can do compound interest as well to get super rich. Like you just invest a bit and then wait 100 years, and then you're suddenly super wealthy.
It's like in Futurama.
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. 200 years. I mean, I think it's like I think it's a gag in Red Dwarf where it's like a joke a prank they play on one of the guys that he invested some money when he was younger, and then 3 million years later, the compound interest has led to it destroying the world.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. As I said, if you imagine, I guess you'd have to pair it with exploring the universe, because all the young people are like would have nothing compared to everyone else. Like if you think that trying to get a job now is hard, imagine when you have like several billion people who have thousands of years more experience than you. Yeah, like the bar for getting a job would be unbelievable. You'd have to be constantly expanding into new areas.
Yeah, it is weird. I think population limits would be enforced.
Well, no, because there's still way more people being born than are dying at the moment.
Yeah, but when you take away all those people dying forever.
Yeah, but it's like people. Okay, are you talking biological immortality, as in like you don't age, or are you talking like actual you can't die if you get hit by a truck, or if you
I'm talking about biological immortality.
So
invincibility is different.
Well, think about what the chances of you dying by accident are. I'm sure there's a like just overall chances of dying by accident.
I mean, I imagine it would reach some sort of equilibrium at some point, but I imagine that's quite high.
So, like, I'm thinking, like, what is the chances if you didn't die just of old age, if you just were going about living your life? What is the chances of you living to 100, say, if you didn't age or anything? The lifetime chances of dying. Oh, fuck's sake. I just want overall. Odds of dying. No, go away. I don't know. These are all diseases, all different. I always want like in general, not from any of these. I don't know, but I would have thought, yeah, you're right, it would reach some sort of equilibrium. I don't care about COVID. Fuck off.
But it's killing us all. Killing us all.
I'm gonna just go to the bathroom quickly. You can be entertaining for that.
Wow, I hate it when you do this. I'm not entertaining in the slightest. But yeah, I mean, I don't even really know where to go from here, to be honest. We've talked about a lot of things already. So to go back to the one of the comments which you made, Odif, with the wings are not compatible weight. Well, if you're starting to take a lot of things out of people and implement different things, a lot of the materials that you'll use are less dense than bone and things like that, but have higher strength density. So, in my mind, I'd have all synthetic bones and skin and organs which are a lot lighter than a normal 8-foot Goliath would be. Is in my mind. And in this fictional world, have jets as well. Why not increase the acceleration? I mean, there is a lot of things which is sort of like, as we've sort of alluded to throughout this, the more that you change, the more knock-on effects that it has, and I think that is going to be what holds this back the most. Is, oh right, if we start implementing these things to help people with blindness, right? Well, we've got to increase the speed that the. Yeah, I don't know actually.
I'm back.
Yeah, I was just going on a point which was not very well thought out.
What were you saying?
I don't know. I was sort of like making the comment of like the knock-on effects of changing one thing with cybernetics.
Yeah. I mean, this is true of. Well, this is true of, I guess, any human interactions. Like, you don't know what's going to happen necessarily. You can't think of every possible outcome of what you put in place.
No.
So we're talking about immortality a bit. I guess that's not quite on the.
I think we're sort of getting away from the cybernetics side of things.
What about increasing your memory, I guess?
I don't know, honestly, because I don't know how memory works, like in the human brain at the minute.
I don't think it's understood at all.
Yeah, but is it a storage issue, or is
it's
it a
strange
processing
because
issue? Are we just not using the right queries to bring back up?
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I was thinking. Is that obviously, like, if anyone's worked with data before, search algorithms are a huge thing.
Always use Excel spreadsheets.
Oh, fucking hell. Thanks, Public Health England.
If it's good enough for the government, it's good enough for
me. But like, the brain is really, really good at searching. Like, you could search through a lifetime's worth of memories in a split second. But obviously, those individual memories do deteriorate over time.
Yes. Or
yeah.
The way it's sort of thought of.
Well, I guess I don't even know. It doesn't seem to be stored. Like, if you could increase your memory to the point where you could remember everything, like a sort of Rain Man kind of.
I imagine the issue is because it's not stored in any sort of like logical way.
So yeah, if you had your memory, so the part of the brain that controls the memory, or however that's done, if that is replaced with some sort of like Bluetooth sender,
massive SQL server,
and then you have like a huge SQL server on the far end, or like MongoDB or something, storing everything that's ever happened to you.
Yeah, somebody mentioned something, your eyes just glaze over, and just like binary just crosses down your eyes like in Matrix or something.
Yeah.
Searching.
And then to the point, so like including, so you got bionic eyes, so you can record everything you see. You can record the exact frame, the exact impulses that were in your brain at the time, so you can re-feel it. You can record what you were hearing, felt on your hands. Go on.
Wasn't there like a Black Mirror episode like this?
I don't know. I've only seen a couple of episodes.
I vaguely remember it, sort of like recalling the memories. I only remember this one scene. I think it was like a couple in bed, and it was showing them having sex. But eventually, it sort of like came away from that scene, and all you saw it was the guy laying next to the woman, but they were both recollecting of a different time that they were having sex. But I think the guy was recollecting with his wife. The wife had cheated on him, or was like a previous lover or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, in a way, and they were feeling the same sensations. And things
Isn't that Memento as well, where the guy takes the tablet that makes him like a super... Sorry?
I've never seen it.
Oh, you should see it. It's actually a very underrated movie. I really like Memento. Is it Memento I'm thinking of? No, what am I? No, it's not Memento.
Shutter Island. Not Shutter Island.
No, it's super fit. It's got Bradley Cooper in it. Limitless.
Yeah, that's the one.
He takes a tablet and suddenly he can remember everything that he's ever seen. So he like chats up a girl by seeing what book she's reading, and he'd read a bit of it previously, and then he could talk about it. Like that sort of thing. Like he can basically scroll back through his life and see things that he'd never remembered before. So you could like, if you've got I guess like if you've got your entire life on video from your point of view, that's a bit creepy.
Yeah, but you'd also get into a side of it where it could almost be used, well, either therapeutically. Well, I mean, I just started to think like if you had that ability now, it could affect legal proceedings. Could be therapeutic. You could start cutting memories out. You could start implementing memories which people never had.
Yeah. That's the whole other area. I mean, if you wanted to have a backup memory database,
what if that gets corrupted? What if you start crossing the wires and then different people start thinking they were somebody else?
Because your memory at the end of the day is all you've got to go on. There's nothing
else. No.
Like unless you can, physically prove stuff. Like it's harder at the moment, I guess, to fake a memory than it is to fake. I mean, this is why they call witnesses at trials, isn't it? Because to fake a recording or a photo or something is getting easier every day, but to fake a memory in somebody and the kind of bank that the person is telling the truth.
Yeah, but then people's memories are hazy.
Yeah. I just want to live in a matrix machine with perfectly balanced brain chemical levels.
Oh, what a world that would be to live in.
Well, I mean, didn't they say in the Matrix that the first time they did it, it was perfect and everyone was in paradise, and then everyone went crazy because of it? I think that's the second one.
Oh no, I've seen the first one. I've not seen the other two.
Yeah, I think they talk about. Oh wait, am I thinking of that one? It's something like that. They put everyone in like an alpine lodge,
right.
Sort of perfect paradise, and then everyone went crazy because of it.
It was too nice.
It was because it was too good. Yeah, the human brain couldn't accept no suffering.
No, humans have a chaotic side to them, chaotic need.
Yeah. Oh, new subscriber. Thanks, Tom B.
One step closer to 420.
I've gone past 69, so
it's the next milestone.
What was I saying? Yeah, so being able to, I guess we kind of said that backing up your entire brain wasn't really, well, I didn't think it was feasible because of the whole copying and deleting problem.
Yeah, well, memories
serving as a backup somewhere else, then I mean, the cloud even at the moment is very highly available. Like it's very resilient. Like, there are ways to deal with intermittent failures. But yeah, you're right. If somebody gets into it and corrupts it or whatever, they can implant memories into you, which would just entirely fuck you up.
See, these conversations always put some sort of existential dread in me. It's like there's always part of me where it's like, oh my god, this is really cool. Yeah, I want cybernetic arms. Oh my god, I want to be able to like have Google just in my brain. But then it's like, what if something malicious happens?
Yeah, I mean, somebody takes control of your robotic arm.
Yeah. No, don't touch that.
I was hacked, I swear.
Oh no, my uncle's got control.
Oh, God.
Oh, I deleted that memory.
There's also I mean, as Jack's kind of taking the piss a bit, but you know, I can kind of see it going to the place where people we were saying about having implants to recognize when you are low on certain chemicals, say, if you're low.
Sort of thing.
But you could get people like the Soma in Brave New World, where it's just a drug that everyone takes that makes them feel happy all the time. So you end up with
Man as well.
Yes. Is Demolition? Yeah, I've seen Demolition Man. Is there a drug that I don't think they're drugged in Demolition Man. I think they're just
don't go to a station and it gives them something. Is that Demolition Man? I can't remember.
I'm thinking of a Brave New World, which is very similar. Like it's a similar kind of concept. Brave New World, fucking terrifying though. Like if you read it, it's I'd argue worse than 1984.
Yeah, because isn't it sort of like in the opposite way? In a way, it's not like oppression by overruling. It's like overwhelming pleasure.
Yeah, basically. So the entire population is always on this drug called Soma that makes them feel happy all the time. It's a very stratified society, in that they have like perfectly engineered people who rule everything, and then they have like people who they give fetal alcohol syndrome to, like in these like birthing tanks, so that women don't have to give birth. It's to make them as like this sort of laborers. And then they've got this like reservation of old humans, like regular humans, because it's set in America, which they basically live like American Indians, but they're old Americans. It's fucked, like the whole concept. But it all centers around this drug called Soma that makes everyone feel happy all the time. And it's like, do you really want to live in a society where everyone has undeserved pleasure for their entire existence? And this would be possible through these implants that we've talked about. Like, the ethical issues with cybernetic enhancement are normally said to be stuff like, oh, if somebody has super strength, they'll probably be arrogant, which is bullshit. It's like, this is the sort of shit you should be asking. These are the sort of questions you should be asking. It's like, do we want to live in that sort of society?
That's true.
I mean, if you have a shiny, like brand new body and can bench press a train car and can jump over a building and see through walls, like maybe you might have the right to be arrogant.
Mate, I'd be arrogant if I could bench 100k. I'd be
yeah. I mean, people. But and then again, we do kind of prescribe people who are suffering from, depression or low self-esteem or whatever. We tell them to go to the gym.
Yeah.
But the point is with that is that they kind of earn it through their own blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, it's the earning.
Whereas if you just have an operation, then you haven't earned it really.
So
it's like
a little bit of you which is dead inside.
It's like having a liposuction or UBI or something like that. Like it. Yes, I guess to quote Starship Troopers, something given has no value.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd have to agree.
I guess if you save up your whole life to earn your upgraded cybernetic Deus Ex body, then maybe. But like, it's not like you've trained your whole life to be able to bench press a car.
No, but I mean, there could also be sort of a realm where you've got to be a certain have a certain physical capability about you. Because like we were saying before, if you have these massively overpowered bionic arms, the rest of your body's got to be able to take it as well. So if you only want like a certain level of enhancement, you can still being a hench boy.
It would have to come with it would have to come as a package. Like, I mean, you see like Superman lifting an airplane or something, but in reality, the pressure would just force him into the ground if he tried that. Like, It's sorry,
Stop ruining things.
sorry, but
you and your bloody realism.
like, when you lift things, heavy things, you do have to have an anchor point. Like, not to say that being able to punch through a steel wall wouldn't be sick, and if you had the the metal bones and like toughened skin and whatever, then why not?
Yeah.
But you'd have to obviously make sure you didn't break every bone in your body trying to do it. So you'd have to reinforce everything.
Sometimes it's worth it though to look cool.
You can just knock down a brick wall, but you would have to walk on eggshells your whole life, like unless you had some way of turning it down.
Yeah, I mean, you can also have the control systems in your head, which like automated ones, which don't allow you to go past. It's like us using 10% of our brain.
And this is an interesting point. Biggest problem with being given eternal happiness or whatever is that it requires a post-scarcity entirely automated economy. Yeah. So what Jack is saying is that in order to have eternal happiness, you have to not have to work for anything. So if you wanted your robot arms, then those robot arms still cost something to make. So the person who makes them and attaches them to you has to be compensated for that. Otherwise, there's no point in them being made.
Yeah.
So you still have to input something into that. They're not going to be prescribed by the government. I mean, unless, I don't know, maybe they're a human right. Who knows?
I'm starting to think they are.
Robot arms are a human right, boys.
They are. You've heard it here first.
So, but I mean, if everyone is just hopped up on Soma and is just eternally happy all the time, then is that a functional society? Like, are people going to actually go out and do things? In the end, if everyone is hopped up on Soma, as everyone just
the argument for socialism, isn't it? If you get given everything, oh yeah, people are going to be able to go about the arts and things like that. Are they really? Are they?
Yeah, because that's always happened in communist nations.
I'm not sure if you've seen art recently, but
well, yeah. I guess at the end of the day, if everyone is, I mean, I guess you can kind of compare it to weed. Like, are massive potheads the most productive people?
Not even close.
And if everyone is like that, then are you going to have a productive? Are you going to have? Never mind a cohesive and like together society. Is it going to actually produce enough food for everyone to live? Like, I guess you would. I mean, as I said, in Brave New World, they have these workers that they make them like clinically retarded at birth or before birth, so that they go out and do all the work, and they're happy doing all the work because they're on this drug.
Yeah.
And they physically can't do anything else because they're so stupid.
Yeah, it's a bit horrifying. I hope things don't go that way.
Well, the idea of yeah, I guess it's an interesting one. Yeah, microphone's going a bit buzzy, I think. Is that
mine or?
I think it's fine now. No matrix paradise without post-scarcity is the biggest black pill since the second law of thermodynamics. Second law of thermodynamics is the ultimate black pill, I guess.
Is that entropy?
Yep.
Yeah. Nothing we can do about that one.
Yeah, it's the ultimate black pill. It's the black pill to end all black pills, really. I mean, that's why I said when you were talking about immortality, it's like, you can have biological immortality, but you're going to die at some point, even if you do manage to live for 1 billion trillion years.
Yeah.
Eventually,
the universe is going to catch back up.
Eventually, the universe is going to run out of energy. Well, not run out of energy. That's the wrong way of putting it. But yeah, everything's going to be spread out to the extent that you are the biggest, like, sort of source of order in the whole universe, I guess. Whoa. If you're just left floating in the black void for eternity.
Oh God. Yeah, no, let me die. I don't think I could hack this for another 1,000 years.
I guess it's like if everyone's immortal, or if there's just like one immortal guy.
Oh, if I'm the only immortal guy,
then you could do whatever.
Better or worse? Because I mean, you could never have like a family or anything, could you? It's like the Doctor. can never settle down. You could, but then it's like,
But it's a blink of an eye to you.
yeah, exactly. You won't notice it. It's basically just a one-night stand, but with an entire dynasty afterwards.
Well, yeah, by the time you die, you could have like thousands of descendants.
They could all be descended from you.
Yeah.
That could be your goal.
Well, like even if you live to so say everyone has to keep the population at a stable level, everyone has 3 kids, say.
Right.
And people on average have that by the time they're, I don't know, I can't think of a round number to use. 25 is too young, 50 is too old. 30. Everyone has 3 kids by the time they're 30. How old would you have to be to have 100 descendants, 1,000 descendants? Like,
not very old. Well,
yeah. If you have 3 kids by the time if you have 3 kids by the time you're 30, by the time you're 60, they've each had 3 kids. That's 9 plus the 3, so that's 11. No, it's 12.
Jesus Christ.
brain fart. 12 descendants.
So then those 9 have another 3.
So yeah, that's 27 plus
12. So it's 4 generations. So you'd be what, 120, 150?
By the time you got 100 descendants.
By the time you got 100 descendants,
yeah. And then by the time you're 1,000, like how many will you have by then? Because it obviously gets exponentially bigger.
Yeah.
A
lot.
You'd have millions of descendants. So yeah, that's just one of the questions you could ask yourself about do you want to live forever?
No. Because I'm with Jack saying I don't know which one's more terrifying, mortality or immortality.
That just requires you to have 3 children.
Struggling at stage 1 on that.
That I know of.
Yeah, good point. It'd be a shock, I must admit, but
yeah, let's not go there.
That's not really not.
With immortality, you can have generationships without generations. That's a good point. That's kind of what I was alluding to earlier when I said stuff about like you could pair it with space exploration, or because if you're going to live to be 1,000, then 100 years of your life. I'm gonna earn that nickname. If you're going to spend 1,000 years of your life alive, then what's spending 100 of them getting to, say, Alpha Centauri?
Yeah, you can just travel to a completely different star system.
That's the equivalent of spending like 6 to 8 years of your life now.
Yeah,
going somewhere, which is a lot, but
fucking hell, Jack.
Jesus. I mean, isn't that the plot of the Matrix? Like that happens. There's just getting drained of energy.
Yeah, I guess.
Bruh.
Like Dyson sphere.
Of course.
There's no other way. That is the future.
We've already covered that last episode. The future is a billion trillion. We kind of mentioned the having habitats all around the solar system, and if you get enough of them, it becomes a Dyson sphere because it just blocks out all the light from the star.
Yeah, true.
It's called a Dyson swarm, I guess. It's the more realistic version. Well, the more physically possible version.
For now.
Well, I mean,
faster than light travel.
I mean, if you built like a massive shell around a star, it would just float off course because there's no gravity on the inside of it. There's nothing to keep it around the star. Think about that one.
That's going to take a while.
I'll do the maths.
I'll next week on that one.
I'll do the maths on it at some point. Just wait till we learn how to make stars, then we'll see who's laughing.
That was episode 1, Jack.
Yeah, that was episode. I mean, all you got to do is compress a load of hydrogen. It's not difficult.
Yeah, just keep doing it.
You just need it. Yeah. AI. Why is AI Shiatori always arrive at the last minute? I mean, we've got 15 minutes.
Because he can't start listening to us for the full 2 hours.
Yeah, that's fair.
He wants to show his support, but can't be asked with our shit.
I was on his stream last night. He got me to look at UFO videos.
I mean, we could do a full episode on aliens. I'm all for.
Yeah. What I'm thinking is I'll get Anakin Cringewalker. He apparently has some qualification in xenobiology. So I might grab him at some point, but I think because he's American, the time zones might be a bit of a challenge.
Oh, I agree with that.
if he's at work or something, Project Bluebeam.
If it's late, you can do it yourself.
Just trying to think of anything. Makuta Derridax is here in spirit. Just trying to think of other things that. Oh yeah, so we could talk about, I guess, quickly the drummer guy. It's kind of a point. So
I think it's sort of like a nice story to end it on. After we've sort of gone fully existential, we're all doomed.
So this guy here, that's a bird. Yeah, so he lost his. Oh, fuck off! So he lost his arm at just a workplace accident. So he's got a bionic one here. He's a music producer, but my point with him is that he's a drummer. So he just, when he first lost his arm, he basically just taped the drumstick to his stump and played like that. And then as it got better, he got a grip that kind of gripped the drumstick as he was playing, like just to attach to his arm, like that there. You see, and I guess it's kind of actuated as well, so we can make it go backwards and forwards. But then once he got a bit further, he can drive as well, which is a big step. As he got a bit further, see, he can now
he can cheat playing the drums.
He can now get it to play at a certain tempo in one drumstick, and he can also have two drumsticks in the same hand. So he can now play with three drumsticks, which is obviously, yeah, you see here, it's got two.
I'm just thinking of that, but replace it with saw blades.
This is an example of already we're going beyond what is humanly possible with these kind of technologies. But this looks like it's made out of Lego or something. Like it's super simple.
I'm pretty sure, like I'm looking at that, I'm pretty sure that's just a Raspberry Pi. You can get those for 20 quid.
Yeah.
It's like the control stuff.
And those look like Lego mechanical gears as well. You see here is you can set them to play at different tempos, and you can do drum sets that have never been played before and that are impossible to play for a human. So this man
I've seen some pretty impressive drummers.
Yeah, but we've seen him do this. I mean, you can't hear it, but I got this guy. Trying to think of any examples. Yeah, there was Xena Warrior Princess waifu as well with the bow and arrow.
Oh yeah.
Absolute Bay.
New future Mrs. Johnson. Imagine the things she could do with that mechanical hand. Oof.
Yeah, you see, like to be fair, being able to shoot a bow and arrow with one arm being mechanical is pretty intense.
It is. It's pretty impressive.
I mean, obviously, it could have just been done for the cameras, like it was a Guardian video after all. But I mean, she's actually quite interesting because she's got.
Hey, shit, you love it.
Shut up. If you go, she's got like this collection of old mechanical arms that she had when she was little. So she's got like in her box like a whole.
Jesus Christ! Imagine going around her house.
it would be more like. It would be less creepy if like she had two arms.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like the fact that she's got
just sort of like you're in her room. It's like she's got a mechanical arm. She's gone off to get dressed. Just like have a bit of a snoop. That just falls onto the ground. Jeez.
Yeah, what have they got? They've got like hooks and shit on them there. Like there's these ones as well with like pincers and stuff.
Those strike me as a little bit terrifying. It's the baby ones which I don't like.
Oh yeah, because her whole story was her mum apparently watched while she was pregnant, watched some video on babies with prosthetic arms, and then obviously she was born with no arm. So yeah, you see all these arms getting.
See what AI's just said, and the small baby arms. I'm just imagining that scene from Deadpool, where he's got those tiny little baby legs. And he's got a baby arm. It's like, imagine how big it would feel like this. I can imagine that happening.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh god.
Oh no.
Do you think there's any other examples from this video that I watched? Yeah, the drummer guy is really cool. And there's this kid as well who there was like a massive waiting list for him because he was the same. I think he was born without the arm. There was like a huge waiting list to get a prosthetic arm. So the dad literally just bought a 3D printer and printed him one.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's like this sort of thing.
That's
and obviously it's
cool as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So the kid can like set it and clamp it in place. It's a bit like the German mercenary one. So at least he can hold things. And I guess it's quite at the end. The interviewer asks the kid like if he could get like a fully integrated sort of neural controlled one, would you? And the kid says no. Like he doesn't want it
because it was like his dad gave it to him. Or...
Yeah. Is that this one's pretty cool? We'll just kind of I can lift things up. He can move it around. This one's the neural controlled one.
This is what we want.
So this one is the one where they have the amplifying of the nerve endings in her arm or the person's arm. So the nerve fires, and then this like bit of tech increases the voltage massively so they can sense it properly. So this is a really recent one. This is from this year. For examples, they can press buttons, they can lift things up. It's very intuitive, I guess, is there other points. I think there's another one of this guy talking about his mate who lost his leg in also in a mountaineering accident.
Basically sorcery.
Yeah. There's videos of this guy who lost his leg, and so the guy lost his leg, and they gave him these this actuating foot, I guess, and it can move in lots of different degrees of freedom, differently to normal. Or the same as normal. I mean, it's so similar to normal that the guy could get up and walk around immediately once they put it on him. And like he'd only like this sort of thing. Look, you can see him moving it around, and like this is one of the ones that has like actual feedback from when they hit the ground. So he can actually feel things with his foot. This is the guy is a true cyborg then, because there's a feedback system from him to the thing making it move, and then if it touches things, it sends stuff back to him.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to sort of be able to interpret the signals which a human sends, but then it's a completely different thing to
So look at this.
Interpret the signals which.
So he can. So this is him literally getting up once it's been first. He's been given no instructions or anything. So he can literally walk up and downstairs straight away with no training or anything because it's so intuitive and it gives him the right feedback. And you can see him like feeling with his fake foot, the same way that you would if you're walking up and downstairs. Like if you watch this, if you watch the fake foot, he goes down. You can see he's feeling with the bottom with the pad with the toes at the bottom there first, as he would when you're walking downstairs. He's not just clumping down like a peg leg. Like he's quite obviously bending the foot forwards, and it just looks like he's walking normally with a real foot, which is mad. There's another one as well, which is a bit more crazy. Is that he got apparently in the lab he got his foot stuck to this roll of electrical tape,
right?
And rather than like bending down to pick it off, he just kind of instinctively just shook it off like that. Like without even thinking, he was just like shaking his foot around, like bending it at the ankle to get rid of this bit of electrical tape, like he would with his normal foot. But obviously, because he can feel it, the mechanical one acts like a real one.
That's really impressive.
Yeah. And this was 2 years ago.
Imagine where we could be
now. I mean, so the point this guy makes, because obviously this guy's got the fake ankles, is that he says he's not a cyborg, but his mate is, because he doesn't get any feedback from the legs that he's standing on.
And he's super jealous of them.
No, I don't. Well, I mean, his point is that he isn't really. Is that he kind of values his. I can't remember what argument he gives, but he actually prefers having his ones that he can't feel with, That's the guy with the real cyborg leg. I mean, even just the way that they move when he's walking around, it looks like he's been CGI'd in. If I'm honest, like it looks like he's actually got sort of green boots on, and they've photoshopped them on.
There is something just slightly off, isn't there?
They do move very human-like. It's so strange. Just walking, yeah, just like pacing around. I can see people in the chat.
Where at the end he starts to pull off his skin, and it's actually one of those robots that were doing backflips the other way.
Yeah, well, I think somebody said in the comments that he should have kept the leg secret till the end, and then just like pulled up his trousers.
Voila.
I think then he starts talking about like having wings and shit, which I don't really buy. But I can see people in the chat talking about shapeshifting. I mean,
is that what it's gone to? I've been ignoring it for the last minute.
Like, if you could replace every part of your body, then like,
why not?
Why keep the same size or shape body? I guess.
Oh, I would. Like I say, I would be a 10-foot tall, hulking beast.
Or like a gorilla or something.
Yeah, why not?
Like if you start replacing parts, I mean, it's not like the Titans in 40K are like transplanted brains inside like building-sized monstrous robots.
Sounds good to me. Sign me up.
Shapeshifters are chibbing. I mean, shapeshifting into like another organic creature might be another step, but like replacing parts of your body with mechanical parts of your body that don't look like human parts of your body is fine. I mean, that's what they already do with the legs and the arms. Like they've got hooks for the arms, and they've got claws, and they've got sort of weird blades for the feet to help with running. That's what I said. At the point where we get the Paralympians being faster than the regular Olympians, that'll be something
I can't
big.
Wait to see them run the 100 meters in 5 seconds. just complete the 100 meters in a single bound.
Yeah, I guess if you've got like some spring-loaded, like mechanical super like feet.
Yeah, all there is at the starting blocks is just craters.
Yeah, it's like every step you take is, I guess what I don't know how far Usain Bolt's stride is.
Pretty big.
I'm sure like you could calculate like at the speed that he runs and at the speed one of the Paralympians runs, how much you'd have to increase their stride by to just make it so that they're faster. So you make some sort of spring-loaded mechanism inside their foot that just propels them a bit further, like moon boots, so that every step they take is just longer. That's all that they change.
Yeah.
So by the time that their foot hits the ground for the next step, they've travelled slightly further.
Yeah.
In theory, because you attack snow traps during the winter, why not?
Just become all terrain.
Yeah, mate. Oh, this guy. So these guys are both.
Just attach mechanical wheels.
These guys are mountain climbers. So look, like this guy, the guy who it was with the leg earlier. He's got a mechanical leg now for rock climbing.
I won't trust that.
Well, obviously he does.
Have you seen the? I think it was a video of a Scottish guy with a prosthetic leg climbing up a climbing wall, and it just falls off halfway. Just reminded me of that.
Yeah, this is because you can see it's
just your legs falling off. Just keep going.
it's been like formed obviously for climbing, and it's got protective stuff as well. So it's actually like a utility thing, not just a can I stand up. Like we've got past the point of people wanting to just be able to stand and walk. This is the point where they're doing actual like recreational stuff. What was that? I was going to say something else as well.
Just in response to Jack, just change it. Just have it as like interchangeable.
Yeah.
Or it just automatically just sort of flips around. You go from travel mode to. Like,
yeah, mate. It's not an IoT device on your phone.
Yeah, exactly. You see stairs. All of a sudden, you start thinking, right, the stairs need to get up these. Wheels switch back to feet, and then you sort of.
Or if you're in your own home, just like will the stairs into becoming escalators.
Or that. Where you've got those escalators where you can like. What is it? Just attach into it where your wheels get stuck and
you
get full put up there.
What I saw a meme. I think that's what I was going to say. There was a meme a while ago of of a guy. Where is it? Let me just see if I can find it. Here we go. Has no legs, climbs Mount Everest. What's your excuse? His legs don't hurt.
It's a valid point.
It is a valid point. Like, you know, if you start replacing parts of your body with mechanical things, they're obviously going to be stronger here. Like, obviously, not being able to feel pain and not getting frostbite is actually
quite a big boon.
Yeah, it's a useful thing when you're climbing mountains, especially if you can just attach like crampons to the bottom so you can grip better. You don't have to worry about shoes or boots or anything. I mean, obviously, your feedback with the ground is difficult because they're just stumps.
Yeah, just temperature sensors.
You just melt the snow whenever you put a foot down.
Yeah. Do that with your rockets.
Yeah, exactly. Inspector Gadget had a back fetish. The fuck?
And a foot fetish as well. What?
I mean, the rockets is like... I mean, you'd end up like Iron Man, I guess. And you got to stabilize yourself, so you'd have to have robotic or rocket legs and arms. Again, like Iron Man.
Just a different pay grade.
Yeah.
That's the gold. It's the gold standard for these legs.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the sort of model that you'd have to go on, like, as I said, like if you wanted to upgrade your strength, you'd have to upgrade other things as well. They'd have to come as a package, not just as a single thing. I mean, I'm sure companies are going to start offering this sort of thing.
Oh yeah, why not?
I can't see like
one's going to be there. I imagine it's going to start off with military though. Well, no, sorry, no, it's going to start off with helping.
Yeah, it's going to start off
with the paraplegic people. Then
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
See, like you say, it's going to get to the stage where the Paralympians are better than the Olympians, and then it's going to be there like, I want this too.
Yeah, I can't see because of that. It's interesting because it's going to start off with helping. It's going to start off with helping medical patients. I can't see governments banning it.
No, because
of that reason. It's a very persuasive argument in favor of it. Yeah, like it's at the point where people start amputating their own limbs so they can get this sort of thing.
Well, people do that now.
Do they?
For deranged reasons. Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, but like for a reasonable reason, like wanting rocket boots.
I'm sure there's been somebody who cut their own legs off to get those blades. I'm sure I've heard that somewhere.
I'm sure, like it's probably one nut job. Yes. Oh, yeah. It is the point where it becomes a thing to do that, to voluntarily go to a doctor and say, "I would like."
Is it transhumanism? Is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where we get.
Yeah, I mean, transhumanism is like an ideology that kind of whispers in my ear like a little devil on my shoulder.
It's like, it'd be cool, right?
I just want robot arms. It tends to be kind of socialistic and hive-mindy. There are people who are transhumanists, and it becomes like a bit of a weird cult as well.
I mean, I could definitely see that. Don't get me wrong, but
like the actual cultiness has kind of overtaken the science with it, I think.
Which is a shame.
For benefits, cutting her legs off for benefits. But then you invest your benefits in getting robot arms. I guess which would you want, robot arms or robot legs?
Ooh, robot legs, definitely.
I was going to say that as well.
There's no thought in my mind which wouldn't.
Because as you say, to get robot arms, you'd have to do all sorts of other shit to yourself to make them viable. I mean, if you could punch through
robot legs as well, you'd still need a robotic spine to carry your robotic legs.
Would you? I mean, if you got, I guess if you got a ridiculous amount of jumping force or running force or whatever, then maybe. I guess like what the stuff you do with your legs probably isn't as drastic as you like imagine doing with your arms. Like if you want to flip a truck or something, then
if you want to jump over a building,
I guess if you I'm imagining
if
doing
you're
dead.
talking about the same, well, yeah, if you're talking about the same sort of level of strength as being able to bench press
No, that's true.
a train car, you're going to be able to jump over a building.
If you could, but then when you land, your legs would catch your fall, but your spine would crumple. Yeah, no, that's true.
I just want to be the equivalent of Megatron. I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
However many foot tall robotic monster. Yeah. I'm still laughing at Cybertrump.
This is what he's been replaced with now that he's actually died from COVID.
Yeah. They've replaced him with Cybertrump.
It's all cover up.
It's the cyborgs versus the lizard people. Because Nancy Pelosi and that lot are definitely lizard people.
The amount of things I've seen on Twitter with painting Kamala Harris as a lizard is almost worrying.
Oh, she's fucking insufferable. Oh my god.
Did you watch Pence?
I did. I watched a couple of clips, and she's just the most insufferable bitch.
Yeah, I watched the entire thing. She pretty much was.
Yeah, we need some sort of British version of Liberty Prime, where he's like he's got like a bowler hat and a cigar, and like rather than just he chucks like American football nukes. He needs to do like bowling with a cricket ball, just like take out a tank with a rocket.
And he's got a trusty mechanical bulldog sidekick.
Yeah, or he has like a revolver and a cane or something, or a sword stick.
Yes, or both.
Okay, well, we've done a couple of hours, so should we start wrapping stuff up? Do we have any more? I guess
there's nothing on my mind.
Things to add.
Sort of covered.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of summarized to be a cyborg, you have to have that feedback loop between yourself to the enhancements, and the enhancement has to talk back to you as well. So you wearing sunglasses doesn't make you a cyborg, or you having a fertility implant doesn't make you a cyborg, thank God. Oh yeah, Jack wants me to shill. I do this every week anyway, but you know, I just get no thanks ever. I will be on Jack's CK2 stream later on. I will probably tweet it out at the time, so he'll probably bug me to shill his stream because he's not famous enough like me, obviously.
An entire 81 subscribers.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All of which I'm sure probably also follow Jack.
Yeah, myself and Pals Ghost will probably be dividing up Poland between us. Seeing as I'm playing as Russia and he's playing as Germany.
I was about to say, yeah. I'm sure I've heard this one before.
No. I mean, I hope it goes the way that it went for the Soviet Union. That would be ideal. I mean, because seeing as Sicily seems to be becoming a new America, I kind of hope that I'll be the opposite number to the biggest power by a long way. Okay, well, we will leave it there then. Thank you, everyone who's stuck around. And I guess, do we have a plan for next week? Or should we discuss that offline?
Yeah, no, I've not got the list in front of me of things. Yeah, I've not really got it.
I have a couple of ideas, but we can talk about that offline, I guess.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you everyone again, and I'll see you later on for Jack's stream and next week probably. So goodbye and take care.